Hey wave makers, it's Moana, a teenage girl with a lot to say and a lot more to learn. This is Making Waves. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome to another deep dive. Today we are diving into self-love and specifically more of the mindset and misconceptions that a lot of people have about self-love. So I want to start with the fact that I think a lot of people view self-love and think of self-love, or they have this mindset of, if I lose X amount of weight, then I'll love myself. Or if I clear up my skin, then I'll love myself. And it's this conditional love of if I look a certain way, or maybe if I get a certain grade, things like that. And that is, like I said, conditional. We think about, parents are supposed to unconditionally love their kids, right? So you have to switch that to, you need to love yourself unconditionally and give yourself the same love that you would expect of someone else who's really, really close to you, because you are a part of your core group and the people that you spend the most time with and the people that you surround yourself with, you're part of that. And so learning to love yourself unconditionally is, one, a huge challenge for a lot of people, but also really, really important, because when you are in that mindset of, oh, if I lose X amount of weight, then I'll love myself. If you lose that weight and then you still feel like crap, that's not going to help anything. And so you have to find a way to like who you are and love who you're becoming. Find the things about yourself, your current, present self. Like me right now, the Moana that I am in this moment, 17, recording a podcast. What are the things that I like and love about my current self? And what are the things that I know I can improve on? Because people who have really strong, healthy self-love are still constantly trying to improve themselves. And that's a huge part of having self-love, and a huge part of self-care is constantly improving yourself, trying to be the healthiest, smartest, best version of yourself, constantly working on yourself. They're reading self-help books, they're working out, they're eating well, they're doing the things that they know are going to help them continue to improve, because yes, they love who they are, but they know there's always room for improvement. And so it can be a huge challenge to find a way to love and like who you are right in this moment when you don't really love who you are in this moment, if that makes sense. So think about your past self. Think about, yourself when you were in elementary school and middle school, and think about that version of you. Like when I think about that version of Moana, I think about all the things that she learned. Because she was able to learn those things and she made the mistakes she made and she did the things she did, now I'm where I am today. Now I'm who I am today because she learned those things and tried those things and made those mistakes. So you really have to figure out, how can you appreciate who you've been? And you need to appreciate the lessons that they learned, because you would never be who you are right now without them learning those lessons. And when I think a lot of people will look back at pictures of ourselves and we'll see them and be like, oh God, what was I thinking? What am I wearing? Or, oh, I was not a cute kid, or I was in my awkward stage. And we'll talk poorly about our younger selves, but they're still a part of who you are. And so you can't hate on that version of yourself too much, because they're still a huge part of you. And I always think of this one poem that we did in elementary and middle school a ton. And it was something about this girl being in school, and it was her 11th birthday or something. And she had made a mistake, or she spilled something. I'm not sure. I don't remember the exact storyline of the poem, but maybe it was a short story, but it was essentially in the end, she was saying that she's 11, but she's also 10 and 9 and 8 and 7. And it keeps going on. So you still have those younger parts of you that you have to appreciate them for everything that they did, everything that they learned. And then your present self, you want your future self to be able to appreciate the mistakes you're making now, the lessons you're learning now, the things you're trying, and you want to make that future version of yourself proud. And so you have to figure out, okay, what is it about me right now that I really, really love, and what is it that I can work on? And you can appreciate the things that you do love and like about yourself. Everybody has to have something that they like about themselves. It could be physical, it could not be physical, it doesn't matter. You have to find those things and appreciate them and embrace them. And the things that you're like, you need to find a way to, how can I improve on these things? What can I do to become that higher, better version of myself? I think we talk about self-love a lot and, you need to love yourself and all of these things that I've already said. But I don't think people talk enough about the actual steps that you can take or the actual exercises you can do or the things that you can do to actually find those things that you like about yourself and work on that self-love. And so I have a couple things that really, really helps me find that confident, I love who I am and I love who I'm becoming version of me that is so, so happy with the way she is now and who she is now, but is even prouder of the person that she knows she's going to become. And so number one, and I think this is a huge one for a lot of people, it's cutting out negative self-talk, which is hard and took me months and years, and I'm still working on doing it. But it is such a huge game changer and so important. I think that one of the best ways to actually cut out the negative self-talk, and I have a full episode, an older episode on this, but you need to pay as close attention as you can for, a couple days, a week, and see what are the things that you're saying to yourself that are not okay? Or when specifically are those things coming up? Is it, are you always like, oh, I'm an idiot, I'm dumb because you're not good in school. So when you're in school and you're studying or you're taking a test or you're like, I'm going to fail? Is it when you're getting ready in the morning and you don't feel good about the way you look? When is it that negative self-talk is there? And you need to find replacements for those things and replace those words. Another really great way to kind of break that habit that I did was every time I started talking badly about myself, I would replace it with a different habit. So I always think of like movies and TV shows, they do this a lot where they like put the rubber band on the person's wrist and like every time they do, whatever it is, they snap the rubber band. Don't do that, but find a healthy habit that you can use to replace your negative self-talk. So for me, I would drink water because I'm always dehydrated. I'm dehydrated right now, but I would always take a sip of water and refocus on something else. I have done this with so many different like small habits like that. Like every time I go to scroll and I catch myself, I open my phone and I just ended up scrolling, which we all do. I will read a book or I will go outside or something like that. Like replace the habit with something else and fill it. And also find affirmations, find things to replace the actual words that you're saying to yourself. And find a positive way to say those things. So if you are constantly like, ugh, I'm an idiot, I'm terrible at school, school's not for me, you need to find something that you are really knowledgeable about. Maybe it's something that you're really passionate about. Like for me, I love F1. I know a ton of F1 history now. Like I could talk about it for hours. So that's something that I know that I am really intelligent in that field. So find something like that for you that you're like, I'm not dumb, this subject is not for me, or I'm not really interested in this. Find those things that you can switch that negative self-talk. Another thing is just focusing on your mental and physical health and self-improvement. Just in general, working on those healthy habits and reading and eating well and exercising, incorporating daily movement, getting outside, those things, and constantly trying to learn more about those things are a huge way to boost your self-love because you're taking care of yourself. And I've talked about how real self-care is hard work. And so putting in that hard work for yourself because you love and respect yourself and you want the best for yourself. Third thing is to spend more time with yourself, which I have done multiple full episodes on, I think, and I will gladly do another, but spending quality alone time with yourself is so important. It's such a good way to get to know yourself better. I always say the things that you love to do with your friends or your family, try doing them alone. Like my mom and I, we are huge bingers. We love to watch TV and movies together. And so I will watch certain TV and movies by myself and I'll talk to myself. Or, maybe you like to go outside. So go outside on your own, obviously safely, but spending that time outside alone, or doing those little hobbies alone and without a device. Especially, it's really, really good if you can do it without a device. And whether your hobbies are movement and exercise related, or craft and art related, or cooking, or music, any of those things, especially the things that you do with other people, try doing them alone. Because you love doing them with someone else, do them with yourself. And you might feel crazy, but talking to yourself, making jokes with yourself, especially when I'm watching, and I catch myself doing this all the time, watching movies or TV shows, I'm literally talking to myself about what's happening in that movie or TV show. Same with books when I'm reading. Just building a friendship and relationship with yourself, just like you would anybody else, I think is such a good way to really find those things that you really love about and appreciate about yourself. Another thing that's a really, really great way to kind of kickstart that when you don't know where to start, you don't know, how to start cultivating that self-love and start building it, is you can do the Self-Love February Challenge. It is something that I've been doing for, I think this is my 4th year doing it. I love this challenge. I have made my friends do it before. It's so, so, so simple and so easy. I wouldn't say it's easy. It is easy to do. It is still a challenge, though, if that makes sense. The actual task is simple, but it is a challenge to keep it consistent. So all you have to do is, there are 28 days in February. I think that's correct this year. I might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure there's 28 days in February this year. All you do, write a list. You can do it in your notes app. You can do it in your journal, on paper. I don't care. I've done it physical and I've done it in my notes app before. And every single day of February, you just write one thing you love about yourself. It could be your hair, it could be your eyes, it could be your personality, the way you laugh, your ambition, any of those things about yourself that you really, really love. Or just in general, about yourself. Write one a day. It needs to be a different one every single day. And by the end of the month, you'll have 28 things that you love about yourself that you can look back on when you're not feeling great. And you're like, okay, maybe I'm not great at this, but I do really love that blank about me. Because everybody is going to have those things that they can improve on. Think about your family, your friends. Think about the things that you really, really love about them. And think about the things that you're like, God, I wish they would quit doing that. Everybody has those things that they need to work on and improve on, and you're the same way. And you don't hate your friends and your family because of that one thing they need to improve on. So you have to treat yourself the same way and know that there are so many amazing things about yourself that you can appreciate. And of course, there are always going to be things you can improve on. Because no matter how much somebody works on their self-love and loves themselves, there will always, always, always be things that they know they can improve on and are not perfectly happy with. So just remember that the goal is not to be completely obsessed with exactly who you are and how you are right now. The goal is to be able to appreciate and be grateful for who you are, your capabilities, and be confident in yourself and your abilities and what you can do.